Hello everyone. Just before we really get into this video, this was recorded, this initial part that you're mostly gonna see, was recorded before the little exchange, well not exchange, what Elon decided to do on Twitter. Call Trump out essentially, like a bitter ex-girlfriend. We'll get into that in the later parts of the video, like at the end, because I did not expect this to go here. I don't know who did for him to kind of have a meltdown on Twitter, but again, we will get into that during the last part of the video, where you will see my beautiful face again. So enjoy watching the video. Alright everyone, the girlies are fighting, or at least they were. It seems like they have ended their squabble and have decided to part ways. And obviously when I'm talking about the girlies, I'm obviously talking about Elon Musk and Donald Trump. News came out earlier last week that Musk and Trump were having a bit of a squabble. Mostly due to the fact that Elon Musk did not like Trump's spending bill, the big beautiful bill. It's big and beautiful, folks. He wasn't a fan of it, and that eventually led to his departure from the administration. But we'll just kind of start a bit from the beginning. This probably won't be a long video, but let's just kind of cover some basic ground of what happened.
Overnight, Elon Musk criticizing the president's massive spending bill, said he was disappointed to see it. Let's go to Capitol Hill. Correspondent Jay O'Brien with the latest. Good morning, Jay.
Yeah, Michael, good morning. President Trump has been adamant he wants Republicans united behind his mega bill, full of a laundry list of campaign promises. But one top ally is still not on board this morning, Elon Musk. Overnight, President Trump's biggest ally coming out against his recent legislative victory.
I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
Oh no, not the Doge team. Won't anyone think of the Doge team? Oh no. Such an upset. I mean, this was going to come sooner or later. It was only a matter of time. I and a bunch of people, on the left in terms of YouTube have talked about this, where it's just it's only a matter of time until he leaves. Because not only was it very clear that he and Trump just don't really care for each other. Again, I think it's mostly one way. I think it's more like Trump doesn't care for Musk. I think Musk only really likes Trump for the sake of, it's kind of a beneficial for both of them. Musk likes the power that is granted towards him from being associated with Trump and being in favor with Trump. And Trump likes his money. And that's it. He clearly does not like being around him. He very much does not like being around him. So I think with Trump, even though he does miss the money fault, the money faucet that comes with Elon Musk, I don't think he's really all gonna care that much that he's gone. If anything, it might be a breath of fresh air for him. But honestly, this doesn't result in anything good for us, as a whole. It's just cool to see a piece of shit just become more and more unpopular and lose more power. That's probably the only good thing, but still we live in this world with a shitty administration, so not much is going to change. But we might as well celebrate the victories while we have them, especially with him leaving. Now again, he left mostly just due, I'm not sure if it was a big reason why. I think, again, this was something that was going to come regardless. I think they have essentially just used this as a way of being yeah, he's going away for this reason and this reason only. Even though I do think his increasingly unpopularity plays a big role into the factor of him being essentially kicked out. They're trying to make this seem like it's this very, he just decided to leave on his own, but I feel like this is definitely him being pushed out the door. But like it says with this article, Elon Musk is leaving his government role as top advisor to President Donald Trump after spearheading efforts to reduce and overhaul the federal bureaucracy. His departure, announced Wednesday evening, marks the end of a turbulent chapter that included thousands of layoffs, the evisceration of government agencies, and reams of litigation. Despite the upheaval, the billionaire entrepreneur struggled in the unfamiliar environment of Washington, and he accomplished far less than he hoped. He dramatically reduced his target for cutting spending from 2 trillion to 1 trillion to 150 billion, and increasingly expressed frustration about resistance to his goals. Sometimes he clashed with other members of Trump's administration who coughed at the newcomers' efforts to reshape their departments, and he faced fierce political blowback for his efforts. That's the thing, man, is like, even though the Trump administration is very much just kind of like, yeah, we just don't fucking care, we're just gonna do whatever we want, there are still people in that administration who do want at least some level of normalcy. Like, you at least have to seem at least somewhat normal, or else regular people are gonna see what you are doing and be like, hey, don't do that. Like, like, stop what you're doing. It's too weird, it's gonna cause too many problems, and we just don't want to deal with that. Even though, like, there are definitely things that need to be fixed in the federal government, some people just like living in at least a conceived perception of normalcy. They like to pretend that the ways that the government operates are normal and good, even if it doesn't result in that much good. But again, this has really just been all leading up to him essentially just being kicked out, and he really has not made a lot of efforts to be that popular, not just within the stuff that he has done with Doge. He's just not a likable guy. There's obviously like the Wisconsin election that he got involved in that proved very much that he is just not well liked, and like, he's just such an uncharismatic guy. I mean, just look at this.
Thanks, guys. Have a seat. So,
that was something.
I am become meme. Yeah.
Like, you could just hear a pin drop, and this is supposed to be a crowd that loves him, and you could hear a pin drop after he said that. Like, this is not a guy who exuberates like confidence, who exuberates, charisma. He is a charisma vacuum. He sucks, and he sucks hard. Like, you cannot create someone who is like less charismatic, less likable than this guy, because he just purely does not exuberate that energy, and you need that for someone who is trying to make themselves a figurehead of an administration, especially one that is doing as much harm as the current one is doing. Like, the thing with Donald Trump is, even though he is a terrible person, a terrible president, he at least has some level of charisma. He is at least able to capture an audience. He knows what they want, and he will play into that. Musk doesn't. He doesn't have that level. He wants to be so desperately, but he's not willing to work on it. He's just like, yeah, I am become meme. Dark MAGA. Oh. It's just so. Oh, I hate it. I mean, I love that he's gone, but I just hate that we live in a world where this guy was given any level of power to the degree that he had. It's so disgusting. And the fact that, like, he's still gonna be around. He has said recently, due to his unpopularity increasing, that he is gonna step away from politics. But like, I think it's just a matter of time till he comes back. He just doesn't know how to stay away. He doesn't learn. He doesn't grow as a person at all. But yeah, for right now, it's sort of the end. And like I said before, this is very much a good thing in a way, because like, A, he's no longer in power. B, this also gets rid of the scapegoat that they usually could prefer onto, because, well, not as much as a scapegoat, but like, Elon Musk, since he has become like the head of Doge, ever since Trump won the election and became president, he very much was a centerpiece in a lot of resistant, like, mainstream media, of being like, a clear example of why the Trump administration sucked, because he was in power and everything he was doing was bad. Like, Elon Musk was such a clear example of attack to show people why this administration just wasn't working. And now that he's gone, we can't, there is going to be more focus on the actual Trump administration instead of just Elon. However, I feel like because of that, there's no more clear example that you can like show like the average person of being like, here is something that's just like argumentatively bad, because like the administration at least like tries to like, that's just, I don't know, like obviously like Elon is such an unlikable guy that showing him to like random people, they're not going to have a favorable outcome to him. Like showing him to like a normal person, they're not going to have a favorable outcome of him. They're going to find him a bit weird, a bit cringy, especially with the stuff that he's done with Doge. They're going to be like, why the fuck would he do this? Like, all the cuts that they made with that department, like and they would say like it was for random reasons, but even whatever. I don't know, like, but when it comes to Trump, he won an election. He is well liked within the country. But so like in that regard, it's going to be a lot harder, I feel like, to get that, like, for there not to be like this clear cut person that you could just point to and be like, they're a bad person, like this person sucks, because Trump has his fucking cult and the Republican Party. But then again, I feel like with Musk gone, I feel like there will be at least more attention being put on like criticizing the Trump administration. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. Again, I don't feel like their recent actions in Gaza, even with like the Western media spin on the whole regard, is going to look favorable for him, especially with the amount of like, people who are pro-Palestine to begin with. But even then, a large amount of them don't fucking side with Trump anyways. At the end of the day, I'm glad he's gone. Hopefully he's gone forever, even though with the attention whore that he is, that's definitely not going to be the case. But we can at least celebrate this short victory. So I guess the victory just keeps on rolling. Also, I wasn't wrong for calling him an attention whore, because this attitude, in my opinion, is more or less him just wanting attention than actually just being like, oh, like actually calling Trump out and saying that he's all these bad things. But actually, let's get into it for those of you who may not have known what took place yesterday between Trump and Musk. So essentially what happened is Elon Musk decided to tweet out, "Time to drop the big bomb. At the real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out." This came out of nowhere. I remember this just dropped in the middle of the day. I was on break and I just looked at my phone, went onto Twitter, and boom, everyone was talking about it. Everyone. Like, whether it was like comic book Twitter or pro wrestling Twitter, like spaces on Twitter that I don't usually see talk about politics in any big bad way outside of the major stuff, everyone was talking about it. And here's the thing. As someone who hates both of these guys, this is great. And honestly, to me, it's no surprise, and it really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that Donald Trump is on the Epstein files. And ever since this, he's really just been really just going after Trump. He brought up like this old post, shit like that. Apparently, Donald Trump, in retaliation of this, has said that he's going to get rid of all of Elon Musk's contracts that, like, help essentially supplement his companies. Like, there's a good chance that Musk's companies just fail after this, honestly. I believe like Tesla stock also dropped like monumentally after this as well. Of course, you got the Elon dick riders. I'm honestly kind of surprised they're sticking by Musk, even though, like, you know, Trump would logically be their guy. Maybe they're so brain broken that they honestly think that, like, Elon Musk could become, like, a future president of the United States, and this is how it all starts. Honestly, I could see that happening. Um, like here with Ian Miles Chong, who is just, like, the grossest creep on Twitter. Predator, definitely. President versus Elon. Who wins? My money's on Elon. Trump should be impeached and JD Vance should replace him. So yeah, there's like a little conservative, I mean not a little, this is big. There's definitely a conservative civil war. But yeah, he brings up this, that like, this is something that like liberals would bring up, of being like, look, Trump partied with Jeffrey Epstein, but now it's fucking like Republicans. It's fucking crazy. But like, and here's the thing, this is all happening because he has just such a big ego. Like, that's the thing, is that if it wasn't that Elon Musk's feelings got hurt because he essentially got kicked out of the administration for being so unpopular, we wouldn't have gotten this, which just makes this like the best news ever. Like, him leaving the administration really just created the best thing that could possibly ever happen, which is this like annoying billionaire that nobody likes against a president that's not very popular and is probably going to lose a lot of popularity within this term, because he has shown that he is more than willing to have his administration do terrible shit where even like moderates or even Republicans are looking at it and being like, yo, this is messed up. Like, why are we sending people to like El Salvador for people who aren't even like gang members, just people who don't even get due process, like shit like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. Honestly, I think the worst thing that could come out of this is that Trump looks better out of this, just because Musk is just so unpopular and so unlikable. You know, it's not that hard to seem like a more competent person, a more well-adjusted person than Elon Musk. This would probably do better for Trump, but it really depends if Musk is willing to put his money where his mouth is and really show some proof of, you know, the shit he is accusing Trump of, which again, like, you know, I don't think anybody, at least anyone who's not a Republican, would probably think is true. Like, I think it's pretty obvious. He's definitely in the logs. That's what I think that's a very obvious thing. But we'll see how well it does with people on the right. Hello everyone, thank you for watching today's video. If you would like to see more videos like this, please leave a like and subscribe down below. If you would like to check out my gaming videos, you can follow me at Fruity Store Gaming. And if you'd like to check out my podcast where I talk about anime, comics, movies, video games, and even pro wrestling, you can follow me at The Fruit Basket. But that's all I had to say for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching once again, and I will see you next time.